Hello, my name is Dr. George Mochocki, and welcome back to Introduction to Business 121 online, offered by the College of Lake County, Illinois. We're utilizing Blackboard, so we're going to be starting week 9. So you know the drill by this time. We only have 2 more weeks, and this course will be over. Almost there. Don't give up on me now. Last week, I had some faint-hearted individuals. I don't think I'll do well. I don't want to hear that kind of comment. You're a business owner. We all have our down time, but let's pick ourselves back up. We're ready, so we're focused now. Okay, weekly assignment. What last week, we did accounting, and I think financial management was chapter 17, 18, and personal finance. Personal finance, you did your health, most of it pretty good, and most of the forums were generated around your personal finance. You understood that truly. Where the issues or some of the concerns was on the income. Some of you had some problem with the income, didn't find the income statement. Well, we took care of that during the forums. And remember, always look at my lecture YouTube to an hour long for each chapter, and then make sure you always view this 20-minute intro just to give you an idea of where you're at. So you have that, you do the income statement. Don't worry too much about the number. Just make them kind of realistic. I'm not going to knock you down on I think your rent's too high or too low. At this point, I just want you to understand the mechanisms. I want you to understand from business that accounting and the dollars, that's the whole heart of business. You go to work to get paid. You run a business to make a profit. To make a profit, you have to know your expenses. You have to know how much money is coming in. If that amount's not coming in, how do I overcome the short term? Do I go to a bank? The next chapter we're doing. Do I cash in some of my investment? That's the next 2 chapters we're going to be doing in week 9. So you have to understand that. So, do your best guess, put that in there, focus in. It's a feasibility study. The first part of anything else is assume we have the money, someone's going to fund it. But now I had the money to buy the house, but I get kicked out a month because I can't pay the taxes, utilities, or whatever. So you had the investment money. Now this portion is, or usually the first part, could this business be feasible once we get started? How much profitability are we anticipating bringing in? That profitability is going to look at how much it's going to cost me to investment and how much return on investment after my break-even point to open up my business. Maybe in 3-4 years I start making a decent profit, a good return on my investment. That's all part of finance. So here's how much I invested, and here's my return on investment. The first 4 years, it's like I have 0 return because it's years I'm building, and then all of a sudden it starts coming up, and now my investments, I'm getting back like 10, 15, 20% on the investment from the business. That's better than a CD. That's better than, I'm just making up the numbers now, but I'm just saying that's the numbers you want to hear. Even if you're making back 6%, 5%, 4%, 2%, right now you're making more than you would get in a bank, and you're going to say, hey, we're starting up. When in 2-3 years I'll understand my customers, I'll go forward. Okay, so remember, accounting and finance and investments, and like this next chapter, banking, understand what are the banking rules, understand the economic conditions. We're going to be talking about them. Chapter 20, look at investments. Even as a business, I'm opening up in a business, small business, when they asked you in that health thing, the last chapter, the CNN health survey, when you completed that, and they said, how much stocks or bonds do you have? Oh, remember, businesses also have stocks and bonds. That's income, revenue coming in. Then you have extra money. The business is doing good. I don't want to expand now. So what do I do with the money? I don't need a mattress. I can't invest more in here. So I take that money and I invest it buy stocks in another company, or I buy bonds that gives me a return investment. So it gives me a steady cash flow when I need it. So when I need additional cash, I have it on hand. I don't have to take a short-term loan, utilize my line of credit, or borrow. Okay? All right, so let's go into week 9. So we're going to go into week 9. This is our last week, last 2 chapters, last 2 Learn Smart. The Learn Smarts are worth 13 points each, so that's 26 points. Okay, so you got your Learn Smart. You've got my lectures, and the only other thing you're going to have is your forums. Now, the forums were 25 points. Even in the forums last time, here's what happens. I was interactive in the forum. You did good. Now you got into some areas from last week that you didn't understand. Ask the students in the subject area, hey, Could someone help me? I don't understand the income statement. Don't always go, Dr. George, I'll help you. I'll read them. If I see it, I'll ask. I want you to help each other. There's other students out there. You're an accounting major. You're a finance major. You already are business people. This is how I would approach it. You're going to get my perspective from the author's perspective and my perspective. You have to help each other out within the network. Whether you're a network of small businesses or I am within an organization and I have a network of my peers or people that I rely on that I get information from. I help each other out. I throw out, hey, I've got this issue. How do I handle it? And somebody will say, George, I tried this. Or no, what about this? You'll give some information out. That's what I wanted to do. That's how you become business proficient. In business, it's not only making the money, is to help others, to create the network, and they help each other. And you become, so if something happens, you're like diversified. You've got other areas that you may have opportunities or threats, or you have other sources of information or resources that you could go to help you that could be cost effective and not cost you much. Okay? Alright, so we got that. Let's see, we got 9. So here's our form. This week's form, let me just put this back a little. Okay? Make it a little bit bigger. You also got my concept maps on Learn Smart. And make sure if you've done some Learn Smart and I give you points for, send me an email and say, Dr. George, remember, I've done these Learn forms for week 5. If you notice in my Blackboard, most of you notice in your grade, you have everything, your overall grade and everything else. And I'll go real quickly at the end to make sure you check so you're not surprised when you get your final grade. Do the internet search. Okay, here's what happened. Learn about new rules about credit cards. Credit cards have changed. Now, I think you got to be 25 years old. 21 years old to get a credit card because they were taking advantage of younger students in college, offering them stuff, and they messed up their credit rating. These are banking. So, this next chapter 20 is in a banking institution, financial institution. There's new rules and requirements they have to abide by. They were taking advantages to some extent. Not all banks, but majority were. So now legislation came in, and here are the new rules. So what are some of the new rules that are protecting you, and what are some of the new rules that they gave to the bank? Remember, usually when the government says do something else, they kind of try to help both sides. They don't want to hurt the businesses too much because they hire people and they also pay taxes, and that's what keeps the economy going. And if I have more people working because the business is successful, I will be able to collect more taxes and all that. So it's a balance act. Come on, let's be realistic. We're business people. We're not naive. We're in college. The government knows you got to control business, but not to an extent where it stifles it, where it can't do anything. If I look what's going on in Venezuela, they're blaming everything on the private sector. Business does this. You have to keep all people employed. They have no one's buying their product. They got to employ everybody. So how could I do it? I reduced electricity because they haven't maintained it. So now they only could run their operations maybe 60% of the day. That's not effective use of business of my resources. And you can't blame the businesses close up or they leave. They say, hey, take it. I can't do nothing with it. So the economy goes down. So you can't squeeze them that much. You have to give them some flexibility. Just a little 2 cents worth. Okay, so you're looking at now when you're looking at your business and the credit cards rules, also kind of look at the credit score. What's a good credit score from your personal? We found out, 630 to 700 and something is excellent, is good. You get a still good credit rating. What's the credit score for a business? Those are just some topics to throw in. You don't have to respond to all the topics. You have to at least have 9 posts at the end. Remember, there's a lot going. Listen to me. 9 posts. So throw one. You got student. You got some question about student loan, or hey, that's something I got to find out. I got to take a loan for my bachelor's going up, or for the next semester. Find some information out. Throw it out to the say. Here's some new information on student loan. Here's some information on credit card rules. Here's some information for the banking industry. And now we're learning as a collective. Everyone's putting something, that's something interesting. But if you don't know it, respond to somebody else's 9 posts, okay? And now, does your credit score, what's a good credit score? Do businesses have credit scores? You know what I mean? Okay? And business, and how do I get out of debt? Is there a good way? Should I listen to these debt relief companies? Are they a ripoff? Or is there government programs there or sanctioned by the government to help people get out of debt. Or if I get out of debt, if I owe, I'm just paying the interest, the banker, that's not stimulate the economy. Stimulate the economy to buying stuff, goods, products, or services, and by that is other people are hiring me and everything. The economy, paying off debt, like a lot of the problem with a lot of student loans. Let's look at student loans, and I also have some student loans. But if I'm looking at student loans, I have to pay that debt off. Fine, but I'm paying off on the interest, not on the principal. And the principal been paid off a long time ago. It's just that I couldn't pay it off at the time in the college and the compound interest. So you're paying off that debt. But because I'm paying off the debt, I'm not buying any big capital goods. By not buying any goods, I'm not stimulating the economy. So now you have more people that are not as to inject money into the economy. You have to help a large population, and that happens to be with student loans. And there's a lot of colleges that took advantage of students. A lot of students didn't make it for whatever reason. They weren't prepared. They signed up, but they still took out the debt. And that's something we could talk about. Is there any relief? Which administration is anything President Obama doing? You got 2 senators running for president. You got Donald Trump, and you've got Ted Cruz. I forgot the other Kash. Those 2 are for Republican. You got Bernie Sanders and you got Hillary Clinton. Which one would be more favorable to help out the student debt? On the flip side, which one of those candidates would be more favorable from a business perspective? As a small business owner or even a business manager, and I'm not talking about the elite, the majority, we're not there. We're talking about the 80% of people in business are middle income or a little bit higher, from not poverty, but in that range. So if you're looking at this percentage, which candidate is better off for my personal thing, but which candidate's better off for the businesses that will give me the raise and promotion and still not stifle my own personal finances or growth? Which candidate? One is going to go, okay, if I wipe off all the student loans, which I would like that, pay off my student loan, but your student loan, for my student loans for my doctoral, for the research and everything else. Your student loan is almost going to be as much as what I had to pay for my doctoral, because of the cost of goods, the inflation, and the dollars, what you could buy. Cost of living went up, so it costs more. So I'm looking, man, I got $120,000 student loan. That's an average for now. And you figure if you go to 4-year college, you figure about $40,000 a year, room and board. 4 years, you got 120 right there, and all you got is a bachelor's. Not all, community college is the best bet for your money. And I'm talking about this because it's something you have to talk about. Now, as a business owner and also personal, which candidate would be better for my business? Which one is better for my personal? But you see how you have to find that balance. And that's what you're trying to find, a candidate that'll find a balance for the both. Okay? And so you're going to do that. Now, the last part of this, so you're going to, you pick up the topic. The last part, I want you to look in here. Remember, here's the feasibility research. I put the link. Some people are still having trouble how to find my link. Everything you can find in here. And I have feasibility research. I want you to click on the link, and this is still part of the form. Remember, it's 25 points. Talk about the stuff on here. This is personal stuff. Don't tell me I got $50,000 in credit debt. How do I do this? I'm just throwing out numbers. How do I get out of debt? What's a good strategy? What's a good business thing? Or here's some credit. Here's some debt relief program. Here's some programs for student loans to help you with student loans. Here's how to offset with the grants. Here's some good news. I was listening to news. The governor. The state of Illinois, Reiner, and the House or whatever, they approved a temporary measure to fund for a lot of the MAPs or a lot of the community colleges funding to keep the schools going. I think it was $166 million. Still not past a major budget, but there's a lot of people that are utilizing the grants and federal assistance to go through college. Come on, we all have done that. Well, not all of us, but some of us. It's a way to do it, and then now it helps us to give back to the society, give back to the community, give back to the economy, everything you learn. It's part of business, and as we're successful, we hire more people, or we buy other people's products and goods, and now the economy is going. But anyway, so if you're looking for the grants and all that, that money's been, they think the governor's going to sign it. It hasn't signed it yet, but and it could be something you could talk about. Governor going to sign the good relief, and talk a little bit about that. All right, we're at the last two chapters. Let's talk about something that is to your heart but still ties into the subject matter. And then, okay, so now I'm going to come in the feasibility study, the last part of the chapter, and I want you to do, here's, I got I think this one's like a 49. It talks about now this one's for the team. Now, right now you're doing individual, so I think I have another one, feasibility study, concept maps, individual feasibility topic, individual, this one here, when was it, 213? It changed a little, so look at the team one, but instead of the team, you're doing this individually, so it's less numbers on here, all right? But this will just walk you through the steps. I'll do one for the team. You could do the individual one, 213. I think it's pretty good. Let's see, remember, I'm live on here. 213. Submit your homework PowerPoints and Blackboard. Okay, this is kind of good, how to submit your homework. Your PowerPoints doesn't bring this up, so you got to see this one. Look at the team one, okay? And if you're not doing a team, remember the teams, you just break up the group. I think that the teams on this one, the teams are giving me 5,400 words. You're giving me 2,400, whatever. It may be in here. So remember, the team project, the way you submit it, everything else is done the same way. Okay? And it still had the 7 headers. So look at that. Here's an individual one from team. Okay, this one's how you do your PowerPoints. You submit it. This one here is feasibility requirements sections, the PDF file you print out. Here's the zip codes. These are just a zip code. How to submit your things online. And I forgot what the date, but I think this one's pretty close. Spring of 2013. That one changed. So let me get rid of that. Okay. Because Microsoft Blackboard changed. Okay, so I made it current. Okay, Indo research, how to new post forums. Okay, I have that. Okay, we're all set. I think I get rid of this one too, because I'll let you view them now. All right, so you should be okay. All right, we're done. So anyway, so click on here. Make sure you okay. Oh, look at the video. This tells you here. Let me just go on this one, the team one. Let me look at the concept maps. Okay, I'll do the feasibility. Let me tell you what's required. I got 5 minutes. You have to have all 7 headers. 1, 2, 3, 4. All right? No. Okay, so here's my 7 headers. Just close this off. So if I'm coming in here, you print this out. Executive summary. Tell me a little bit about your company. Put a product. These are, this is a 1 header, so you're gonna have 1 header. Dr. George Mochocki, Business 121. My research paper is I'm opening up a health clinic or a Baptist church or a mosque or whatever. It's a business venture. I don't really care. I've had them all. Okay, I'm opening up or I'm selling the shirts or whatever. Okay, so you tell me about it, and then the next one, then you're gonna tell me your market analysis, who your customers. How I plan it, who your customers, who you think your customers. Don't tell me everyone. Give me some kind of a data on that. And then you're going to tell me marketing. Answer these questions. You can almost answer to every product. It's generic enough. This is from a Business Plan Pro software I utilize. Similar software that the Small Business Administration utilize. If you start off a business, they're helping you. A lot of businesses use it. It combines a lot of stuff in 3 or 4 headers. You just add information, and it kind of puts you in a format. I've taken the same kind of a format, but I adjusted it to the chapters that you've been reading from the book, so it makes sense. And now you're just going to write a full paper on it, okay? Tell me about pricing. These are just websites you could find or utilize to get some information, okay? Advertising, your media. If you're going to tell me I'm going to utilize a newspaper, which newspaper, Daily Herald, Sun-Times, Tribune, whatever, ads, okay? Critical risks, recommendation statement, and quick overview. This is overview. Minimized, 3,000. This one I think was it for team? No, this one here, 3,400 words. Teams were more. All 7 headers, vocabulary and concepts, APA citation. I'm looking for the date when it was cited. And how do I do that? Let me show you. I think I showed you on before. Okay, grammar. I'm looking at least 35 words, utilizing business concepts in bold, so I could pick it up out of your narrate paragraphs. And I'll show you another one. The words are there. And Microsoft 5. Okay, so now you just read. Let me just. I don't know what the heck happened here. Okay, something happened. All right, so we have everything you need. We're good. Finish. Sorry. Got out there. Distracted. Okay, so I'm going to just close this off. Alright, and we're out of here. Turn this off. Okay. Alright, are we good? So now you have what you need real quickly. Look at the YouTube. So if I look at the YouTube, it's talking about the team. It's going through the same headers, a little more detail. Shows you how to submit it. You submit it the same way. Nothing changes. Update, feasibility, or individual team update. Oh, here's a link. This one's a newer one. Very good. You could try either one of these. I'll walk you through. You look at the main concepts and you'll be fine. Here's a zip code. Here's the rubrics. Here's a paper of one individual did a while back. A research grid with mind maps using screen capture. Okay? Let me just get rid of that one. I don't want to have too much for you to get it all confused. I think that's what happens. All right. That's all I have. Again, my name is Dr. Jordan Mochocki, week 7. Make sure you do your Learn Smarts, last 2 Learn Smarts. The forums, kind of open forum. Respond to either credit card information you find out, respond either to your student loans or something that's going on. Also respond to, hey, something on the feasibility. What are you actually looking? After you saw the view, you viewed the video on team feasibility. The only thing that changes is they're working in a team and you're just doing an individual. Online class, I make you do not as much, but in the team they expect a little bit more. The rubric's a little bit different when they print out their own rubrics. Okay? So I'll see you in the forums, and and that's it. Have a nice day. And look, you're almost done. Next week, the forum's going to be strictly on your paper, and you'll be doing your paper because next week, Friday or Saturday, midnight, you're turning your paper and you're turning in your 2-slide, 3-slide PowerPoint. We'll talk about it in the forum this week, and we'll talk about the forum next week. Most of you are doing excellent work. You're almost done. You could almost touch that B and A, maybe C, even D. Yeah, F, you'll be taking the class again. Okay? See you later. Bye. Let me just find my thing.